All right, welcome to our second episode of Community RX'd. We are your hosts. I'm Mike Osman.
Coach Tom here.
And we are going to be talking today about a couple different topics. Eventually, whenever we get through our initial ramblings, we'll be talking about the big news out of the CrossFit world this week in terms of the firing of Dave Castro from CrossFit Incorporated, and also the upcoming 10th anniversary of Wodapalooza happening in Miami starting this week, which Tom unfortunately is not joining us for, even though they are still asking for volunteers. I saw an Instagram FOMO. Post today.
Major FOMO.
Yes, but so I don't know why, but there's a lot of openings still available to volunteer. So anyone who listens to this, if you can find your way to Miami this week, there are still opportunity to be part of the action. And I will say, as someone who was there 2 years ago and will be there this year, it is one of the most fun CrossFit experiences you will ever have. If you get lucky, you'll see the Buttery Bros recording their very things that they put to music, but when they're recording them, they look like the most awkward shit you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, it's so fun watching them record. We saw a little bit of it
awkward
at West Coast, right? It's quiet, dead quiet, and they're like acting, all these antics, and you're like, what is going on over there? And it's really funny to watch.
If you watch their Wodapalooza episode from 2020, I am in one of those shots.
There you go.
And I look totally confused because I was just walking back to my stage, and for some reason the crowd parted in front of me, and I'm zoned out. You're dead tired. You're volunteering all day. I'm just like trying to get back to Tina Hills. And I just see like 15 feet in front of me. I think it was Mars, Heber, and Julian. And they're like doing their knees are bent. They're doing all this, and there's no sound.
Just dancing with quiet.
Yeah, dead quiet dancing with just like this empty circle because everyone gave them space. And then there's me. When you actually watch their video, there's me behind them just like, what is happening? Like just trying to like, maybe I can back away from the shot. Not happening. But it's so awkward when they do it. Like, I mean, they have to do it that way. But like, yeah, at West Coast, they were at the end of when we were doing our demoing.
We had a judge's briefing or a demo.
Briefing, and they're sitting at the end of the lane with Carrie Pierce recording their like Go Wad thing. And we're like, hey, we need to like come through here and finish demoing this workout. And then I think
in the middle of the lane too.
At the MAC, we were in the middle of a judge's briefing. You can see it in their video from the MAC this year. There's myself, I think Brian Folger's in the background. I think we're faded out when the video starts, but we had done our judges briefing and they run in and then run towards the camera and do their "what's up, everybody?" And there's just us just hanging out in the background because we're in the middle of a judges briefing while they're doing this in a dead quiet, dead empty Tennessee basketball stadium.
That's hilarious.
That was just like, oh, I guess they got to get the footage somehow.
They got the production. I mean, when you see the end result, they are really good.
Yep. I haven't watched much of their stuff lately, but what else are we going to talk about?
That's about it.
Well, we're talking about apparently we're supposed to have a theme song for this. We were told.
Oh yeah.
As part of the Clydesdale Media Group, they like their theme songs, which I'm not all for. I am not creative at all in that way.
I think I might have a solution for you on that one. So
you're going to sing Ave Maria?
What that would be great, right? If I could sing Ave Maria.
Instantly kicked off Spotify.
Yeah, I think we'd lose so many listeners just
we go from 5 to 0 so quick.
So fast. I wouldn't even listen. So you'd lose me, which is, not good.
No stars.
One of the guys at my gym, one of the coaches is a music major. So I think he doesn't know it yet. Hopefully he hears this but it was suggested from another coach to see if he can put together something for us. Something I'll give him what our ideas are, and then maybe he can come up with something catchy. So
see, the concern is that he puts something together so awesome and then it fades to us and the expectation's too high to start.
Well, that's okay. We got to get them in. Once they listen, we're good. Like they don't have to listen to the whole thing. Yeah. Once they click yes, then we're good.
We need to figure out the algorithm with Spotify or any of these, like how much constitutes a listen. So if we get 5 minutes out of them, it still counts.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a good question. We need 5 minutes of excellent content and the rest can just be
whatever.
whatever. It could be us doing a crossword with each other.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I feel like
people would listen to that.
We should just do that just because.
A CrossFit crossword. Ooh,
Yes.
That's a lot of crosses.
Yes. We could make it work. It'd be about as exciting as maybe paint drying, maybe less. I'm not quite certain.
Paint sharing at least changes colors, so you can watch that.
What we should eventually expand to. This is an idea I had. Have you? I think I might have told you this. I've told a couple people. A version of our podcast, Community RX, does air bikes and athletes. This is my idea. If I told you this?
No, this is new to me.
Have you ever seen Hot Ones?
No.
Oh my God. What? Okay. Hot Ones. It is a YouTube show where celebrities eat progressively hotter hot wings while being interviewed.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh, this sounds amazing.
Go find the Shaquille O'Neal one is amazing. What's another? Shaquille O'Neal's fantastic. Paul Rudd. Oh,
I love that guy.
Paul Rudd's is just outstanding. Like it's got like 10 seasons. And it's literally this guy. It's like, what if during COVID, it was like on Zoom, you're the interviewer and I'm the celebrity and I'm eating hot wings. And every hot wing has a different question. So while we're both dying.
I think I saw a little something like that. I didn't watch the whole episode. I think I saw it on social media.
Yeah.
Like maybe Instagram, something.
While we're both dying.
Oh,
I know, right? Before I pawn him off on a poor family for a week, it's going to have to deal with his insanity.
Yeah, that's right. Cat sitters are the best people in the world.
Yeah, and he just wants to be part of things. I almost lost him in a crawl space. Grabbed him by the tail. He did not like that. That's all I had. I didn't know where it would go otherwise. But literally progressively hotter hot wings, and you should totally watch it. But my idea, the CrossFit version of it, and I would do this because I love the air bike and am decent at sprints.
There's something wrong with
progressively longer sprints on an air bike with a question every time.
Ooh.
Like, so, all right, 5 second sprint, like a minute of like talking, 10-second sprint, minute of talking, 20-second sprint, 25, 30, and end it like a minute. And then both people are just on the ground dying. Like, so what's your favorite color?
That's hilarious. I would watch. Can you imagine some of these big name athletes doing that? That would be hilarious.
I don't think they'd ever sign up to do it. I think.
No.
We would have to get someone we know, which we don't know anyone. I mean, I think the closest, maybe Sean Sweeney. I feel like he'd do it.
Oh, I've been wanting to invite him on here. I don't quite know if we're there yet, but
when we get there, we can pitch the idea to him because he's just crazy enough to want to do it. And then maybe we could even do it like on here on Zoom.
That'd be
like we're both on an air bike facing the camera, and then you see us just fall off the air bike and then like climb up from under the desk.
That would definitely have to be one that's recorded.
Oh yeah,
people are going to need to see that. Yeah, that's going to be hilarious. I'm going to die.
But if we can get someone to do it and it tracks well, I think that could be outstanding.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. I got to think on that one. That's a good idea. I like it.
Athletes and air bikes. I think there's other applications to it as well. We could do others, but I think that's the start because who doesn't love dying on an air bike?
I hate the air bike.
I mean, most people do.
I hate it. I bought one and I still hate it.
There's just something about the mutual pain of a sprint on an air bike, though. Like we
all know, yeah.
We programmed like a year and a half, probably 2 years ago now. We programmed at our gym 2-minute max cal. That was the WOD for the day. That was one of the most fun days I've ever had at the gym. Like everyone was there and excited for some godforsaken reason.
It's
like horrible. It was just mutual pain. Like we literally put the air bikes in a circle. And it was like just this crazy like little pain circle where everyone just went all out and then it got done and you just like people collapse off the bike, but everyone had a great time. I mean, a minute later you were fine.
That's crazy. I don't think I could do that. I might skip that day.
I think I got like 80 cal. It was something stupid. It was really dumb.
In 2 minutes?
Yes.
Is this a Assault bike or an Echo?
Oh, definitely not Echo. Assault. I've done we had to do for a comp, and when I lived in Texas, it was 50 cal in a minute, or 50 cal for time, and I did it in 55 seconds.
My goal is to do 50 and under 60, and I still can't do it yet. So you are ridiculously good at the sprint. I've seen it. I've seen it in action.
I have quads that are built for something like that.
Oh, my quads are fine. It's my lungs and my heart and my everything, my mind and my willingness to continue.
The biggest thing is once your legs go numb at about the 30-second mark,
that's insane. I can't imagine that 60 seconds.
Yeah, I did it once in prep for the comp, and then I did it afterwards with another guy at my gym just to test it. And both times I was just like, this is stupid.
It is stupid.
But you gotta do what you gotta do. The worst part for that comp, the day before, they pulled that workout.
Oh, interesting.
They pulled it and switched it to 750 meters of rowing because they were doing it on the side of a pool, and they were worried about like the bikes going in the pool or something. Like if someone bridled too hard or something.
Interesting theory.
Which subsequently my judge had to stand on the rower because I almost put the rower.
I was to say I'd be worried about the rowers. I've seen those rowers.
No, they pulled it out, and I was just like, I just practiced that shit.
That sucks.
I'll never get those calories back. That's how I looked at it.
Lost forever.
So
speaking of suffering, and everybody's suffering.
Segue.
And everybody's suffering together.
I love it.
And everybody knowing the suffering. What we don't know what the new suffering is. Dave Castro, out of the blue, 8:00 at night, fired.
Yeah, that's the extent of it.
What? Yeah, I think it was another day where CrossFit stood still. I think the second, maybe third time that CrossFit stood still.
Yes, it was.
What are your thoughts? What do you think? Like,
I have thoughts. I want to be careful with my thoughts. In my opinions, I'm not sure good or bad for CrossFit right now. 99% of people only know Dave as the face of the CrossFit Games, which is, if you know more than just surface level stuff about CrossFit, you know that he was much more involved in that. He was very involved in the training department, probably more so even than the games for a long time. And I think that from what I've heard on various podcasts and whatnot from people in the know, that's what killed him. To be removed from the training was like, that was really hard for him when they removed him completely from training recently and just doing the games. So I think his impact is going to be felt so much more than just the games, because he is a cultural icon as much as we would have within CrossFit, on the level of, say, Rich Froning, Matt Fraser, Tia, Annie. Like, he's one of,
he's been there. The exception of Annie,
Mount Rushmore of CrossFit, and just in terms of those who have had an impact on the sport and CrossFit as a whole, I don't see a way that Dave Castro is not on it.
Oh, and that's the thing too. And that's where I'm at too. So I think what Dave gave to this sport is immeasurable. Like him or love him, hate him or, love him, whatever. You can't argue that he wasn't passionate about it. He didn't care about it. He didn't care about making it better. And he didn't care. You can't say that. It's very unfortunate things didn't work out. I know that whatever he goes to next, he'll excel at. He has that kind of personality. I just don't know what that next thing will be. And I don't know what's next for CrossFit now. I
would be fascinated if Rogue brought him on in some capacity to help build out their aspect of the sport. Because he does have such a connection to Rogue. Like, they literally just started selling his shirt.
I bought one, not going to lie.
I kind of want to. I want one of his hats for sure. So I think
I'll buy one of those too.
That'd be an interesting segue or place for him to go. But I think so many people didn't have the privilege to see behind the scenes that some of us have had in terms of our experience at the CrossFit Games, or those that have obviously worked with him. Never met the man personally. My closest interaction with him was 2019. during the final Sunday when it was like Matt and Noah going back and forth, him and Justin Berger standing over our shoulders at the scoring table because they are waiting for us to tell them, if Matt wins, this is the podium if this happens, this is the podium if this happens, because that was what we were supposed to be doing. And he's right here. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like first time volunteer. But like this year at the games, I witnessed the side of him that I heard about from people. We were sitting in the basement of the Coliseum. I think we were eating our lunch or something. It's Sunday. He's walking around. He walked past our group. He's like, hey, which of you are a size whatever?
It was 12
for your shoes. Yeah. Were you there?
No, but it happened in elsewhere too.
Yeah. I've heard he does this all the time. He's like, who's a size 12? Just takes off his shoes and gives them to a volunteer. Yeah. And then he just had a bunch of shirts and he's just throwing them out to volunteers, like just super thankful for everyone who's there. I thought that was so cool.
He always every time I again, I don't know Dave. I can't call him up and say, hey, it's Tom. And no, but I have interacted with him a little bit. At my level 2 was at the ranch. He stopped by, talked with us a little bit. I ran into him. The ranch is 20 minutes down the road from me. So I ran into him in town of all places. Didn't talk, like it was kind of like at a restaurant and we were both in the front waiting for like tables or whatnot. So I gave him the old head nod. I said, hey, big fan. And that was about the end of it because he was there, family stuff. And I don't need to be interrupting that. So my interaction with him is not that high, but I saw all that too. And he always made it a point, me being a volunteer, when at regionals, he'd always come into the judges area. He'd always go into the equipment area, scoring, tell everybody thank you. At some point during the weekend, he always went into every single area and said, gave fist bumps, said thank you and all that kind of stuff. So
he's always very intense, but it was also like his Super Bowl every year. Like he's running it. And I think people see that and they're like, he's so intense or he's a jerk. It's like, well, one, the jerk thing is a persona. Like he talks about it in multiple different, if you've heard him on any podcast or anything, if you've read his book, he talks about it like that's more a persona than anything else. And you need to be able to separate that. And everything I've read and heard him talk, he's insanely nice. He's insanely genuine. He's very thankful of everyone who's involved with CrossFit. He's
absolutely
like, I don't think he's a jerk at all. I hope he lands on his feet. I'd be interested to see if he goes off and does something with Greg, because I think the viewpoint on Greg has softened from where it was in summer of 2020 when the world was on fire and he just decided to throw another log on it with a mistimed tweet, for better or for worse, whether you agree with what he said or not. I think the viewpoint from the CrossFit world has softened on how angry it was at Greg at that time, just based on my own observations. So it'd be interesting to see if he goes and does something with Greg, especially given his most recent social media post, which maybe contributed. You don't want to speculate because none of us know. We're not
I've heard the rumor too, social media.
Yeah. If people are saying, it's because he put up hunting photos. I was like, that'd be asinine if that was the reason.
I think here's my opinion. So like it or love it, CrossFit's $1 million company. And it's not publicly traded, but it's privately owned. But it's still a lot of money. And the CEO, president, CEO, owner, whatever you want to call Rosa, but he came in a very turbulent time and tried to fix things. And when new leadership comes in across all of corporate America, like it or hate it or love it, they bring in their own people. They change people at the top. And I think that was part of the reason for him leaving, was that he was part of the old guard and now we've got a new guard. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But I think the timing is suspect. I don't like the timing of it. It's right, 6-7 weeks before the Open.
Well, 6-7 weeks before the Open. And I think it was less than 48 hours after Dave posted like, hey, the workouts are done.
Right.
They're going to be an awesome test for people. Sean Sweeney's puking in the corner.
Right.
Like, it tracks with how CrossFit handled the media stuff in 2018, where as soon as they were done with their stuff from the 2018 games, it was like, all right, we don't need you anymore. Bye, media team.
Exactly.
And it was kind of tiered as how they got rid of people as they got their work done. So it tracks with that, but it's also just, it's very, all the timing, Rosa coming back from where he was, I think that was pretty recent. So it was like, was this kind of mulling and happening? Were the plans in place for this? Because by all accounts, Dave made it sound like this was completely unexpected.
No, I think he was blindsided by it.
Yeah, like he just got a phone call, hadn't talked to Rosa in months. So it's very interesting to see where they go with this. I mean, who knows how much of the games he had programmed. If you've read his book, you know that he starts, which if you haven't read his book and you are a fan, have you read his book?
Yes. Yeah. I read it when it first came out.
Gosh, if you are a fan of programming in any capacity and want to learn more about it and just the detailed thought process that goes into it, that book I want to reread it. That it's a dry read, but it is a fascinating read.
That's good read.
From a programming perspective, and seeing like nuggets from 2017, then that now appeared in the 2018 games, 2019 games, things that he writes about in his book. Like to see the thought that goes into it, how much planning and time went into it. I mean, in the book, he talks about he had to plan regionals and whatnot. Luckily, Justin Berg doesn't have to do that, but there's still this whole, it's potentially the final year in Madison. I assume they'll announce that sometime what's happening. I assume if it's in the final year, if it turns out to be the final year, they're going to want to do something special for the last time in Madison, just like they did for their last time in California. So there's a lot riding on this year. And it's also, I mean, there's even more so riding on because like the first year without Dave, people are already freaking out. So
I mean, I have no control over CrossFit HQ. You and I both know, like it's not my company. Even as a coach, I have no control what happens. I'm not employed by CrossFit. I'm barely employed by my own gym.
Are you actually?
I do know that the games as we know it is now done.
Yep.
For better or for worse, it won't be the same. It's going to be different. And I don't know if that's good or not. Only time can tell that. And you know, we lost the face of CrossFit now and the face of the games, at least. So it's going to be different. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's not.
Yeah, like we don't know. We're not privy to the inner workings. There's people who do programming there who have done I mean, you've got Dave Eubanks and Pat Sherwood who have had their hands in programming the age group areas, along with oversight by Dave. So you've got, I mean, like they've talked about, you have a fantastic team in place. I think 99% sure Sherwood's still there, but you've got this fantastic team in place that potentially can do something. I don't know Berg's.
I mean, you got a lot of people. You got a lot of people still there. You got Chase. You got, you know, like, not Chase. Who am I thinking? Boz. You got Boz. You got Carswell. I mean, you've got a lot of people who are still there who have a lot of knowledge, have been there for a while, that are definitely, you know, hopefully can step up and do some real good here. So it would be nice. I'm not saying we need to know, the CrossFit community does not need to know every minute detail of why the decision was made or like what happened. And frankly, it's none of our damn business, right? Like,
but ultimately, I do think, given the amount of change and turmoil over the past 2 years within CrossFit, I think we're sick of just rash decisions being made, and we'd like some consistency. I'm sure the athletes would. I know I would, as someone I'm not an athlete, obviously, but someone who's invested in the CrossFit space. I would like there to be some consistency, and not every 6 months there's something that lights the world on fire within CrossFit.
I was talking to my affiliate owner who had some concerns as well. You know, what does this mean for the affiliates? And I think it means nothing, but and we had that conversation, but there is now, as an athlete, right? As an athlete who, this is my living, this is how I make my money, is by competing in CrossFit. What does that mean for me? And I think those are the people that deserve an answer on at least what's coming up next, because they're right now in the midst of their training. They're getting ready for the Open. What does this mean for me? What does this mean for my games life, my games experience? You know, so.
Yeah, I think the affiliate owners and the athletes deserve the most information.
Right.
I mean, I think the affiliate owners deserve to know what CrossFit's plans are and what their future plans are, because they're the ones using the name and tying themselves to the organization. So it'd be interesting to see. I mean, CrossFit posts on social media, new era begins.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah. And to say about CrossFit social media, trying to be careful with what I say, just because of certain things in my work life, but shut up.
Yeah. There's been some,
like, let the world chatter. You fired him. Okay. People are pissed. People have emotion. You do not need to send out what came off as very disingenuous the next day, like a message thanking Dave. You fired him. That just looks like damage control, and it's really poorly timed. I personally wouldn't be reposting athletes thanking Dave or their like good opinions of Dave. I think it just looks disingenuous.
There seems to be this I don't know, battle, but this miscommunication between CrossFit social media and CrossFit Games social media.
Yeah.
Like, and it's been that way for a while, especially when, CrossFit shut down their entire social media account. So but yeah, it was a little weird. Like reading them, it's like,
it's a fascinating study. Like for a college professor teaching about like damage control or marketing, it'd be a fascinating, you could just, the history of CrossFit social media, and it'd be like, when something rash happens, you probably shouldn't be posting about it and trying to make it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Especially when you know it was. Yeah, exactly. When you know it was.
So it's like yeah, you just keep posting your normal CrossFit content and then let the fire die down, and at an appropriate time post things like that. But the next day, just, it's too soon. And it doesn't come off as genuine.
And when every single athlete, at least let me rephrase that, not every single athlete, because I didn't read every single athlete's tweet and Instagram, but all the ones that I saw have always said, thank you, Dave, or, and, bad, I don't know about this decision, bad decision, or this is confusing, things like that. No one said, hey, good for you. I don't think I've read that one yet.
No, I don't think anyone has said like, great job, CrossFit.
Yeah.
Great decision. Like no one has said that.
Now people in the comments have, the normal people, oh, why didn't this happen earlier? But I don't really care about their opinion.
No, I mean, that's just internet trolls. I'd be fascinated to see. I was listening to Kettlebells and Cocktails, or Cocktails and Kettlebells, whatever John and Nikki's podcast is called. And John said he woke up to like 40 DMs the next morning because he had gone to sleep already. And he said some of the things people made memes to send him, and they were so horrible.
He made a post about that, didn't he? Like saying that I will not.
I feel like he said something because he was being sent horrible memes that people were making, and it's like at the root of all this, a man lost his job.
And that's what John said. I think the very first thing was, I will not be making fun of Dave Castro, because at the bottom line, the guy got fired.
Yeah, and
he got fired with the new year. Like, oh yeah, everything's new 2022. Everything's gonna be better now, especially after the last 2 years. And at the ultimate, the bottom line of it, a guy lost his job.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there are people that when they lose their job, I'm all for it. Mike Zimmer, Vikings coach, hopefully, knock on wood, not going to make fun of him for it, but there are people, you think about people who have done something really heinous, or just it comes out they're just a terrible human being. Okay, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Make who? Oh yeah, Urban Meyer. Make fun of Urban Meyer till the cows come home. The man stayed and went to a bar and had a woman dance on his lap instead of going home with his team after a loss.
There's
a lot of jokes to be made about that man, and go for it. But like someone who just loses his job out of the blue, when by all accounting he has done an outstanding job and is beloved. Why? The people that are making fun of him are the people we talked about earlier, who only know his persona,
right? Yep.
And just think he's an asshole, or have seen the Dave Castro as a prick shirt. And it's like,
and I think a lot of people also, and this kind of comes back to why we started this podcast. Well, I should rephrase, why you started this podcast. Invited me along for the ride, which I love. But the CrossFit Games is and I talked to my affiliate owner about this. The CrossFit Games is a very, very almost insequential part of CrossFit in general. I know I love it. I mean, I go to the games as a volunteer. Maybe when I'm 60, I might make it as a master's. Doubt it, because those are phenomenal athletes. But at some point, we have to realize what CrossFit is. And I think a lot of people that are posting on social media saying, "Oh, I'm done with CrossFit. I'm not doing the open." You're missing the whole point of CrossFit, especially the open in itself. The open, I am not going to the games. You're probably not going to make it as an athlete. Nobody. In fact, I've been at 5 gyms. Yeah, right.
How
I've been
dare you?
5 gyms.
I'm going to be 65 plus masters athlete someday. I'm starting my training now.
That's about what I would need to do. Start now. So I've been at 5 gyms, I think 5 or 6 gyms for my CrossFit career. And I think at one of them, we had a games athlete, and that was when I was at NorCal, and, he kind of won it, but along with the rest of, he had some other people there at NC Fit and NorCal, but the other gyms, nobody's made it to the games that I know of. So a very small part of CrossFit goes to the games. Now we all do the open. Well, the open isn't about the games. It's about one, community, hanging out with people in the box under a competitive environment, having fun. We all, embrace the suck together as we get on that assault bike or that rower, and you test yourself from year to year to see how you're doing, to gauge your fitness. And that's what CrossFit is health. And you gauge your health by doing the open, see how you're doing. Are things improving? What do I need to work on? What have I improved on? And people have lost sight of that. Yeah. People in the comments, not people in general, people in the comments 100%. Are saying that, oh, because Dave's out, I'm not doing the open. Well, then you're kind of missing the whole point. And maybe CrossFit's not for you anyways.
I would say that's a gross oversimplification of how people should feel. I think there are other things that could happen that would make you decide that, along with firing Dave. Yeah. Those things have not happened yet. So I think that's a very extreme overreaction to losing Dave. I think at the end of the day, I think the people who post a lot of comments, what I would encourage them to do is to look at CrossFit Training's Instagram and see what they posted. My guess is maybe that was written by Nicole Carroll, but see what they posted as a heartfelt tribute, thank you to Dave, and that speaks volumes.
Yeah,
about his impact outside of the games and to his actual personality and who he, by all means, by all the knowledge that we have, having very limited or no actual interaction with him one-on-one or as a group even, that's what he seems like. Yeah. And that's why I think he should be remembered as that, and then how he helped grow the sport.
Absolutely.
At the end, I mean, from where it came, a barbecue of fitness to where it is now, that does not happen without Dave Castro. The training department to where it is now does not happen without Dave Castro. And I would wager pretty much all the trainers would dive on a grenade for him.
If for some reason, I don't know why this would ever happen, but if some reason Dave is actually listening to this, I only have one thing to say, and that's from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Yes. So that's pretty much all I have on the topic. So
yep, thank you, Dave Castro, for everything you
Absolutely.
Have given to the community of CrossFit and to where you have taken the sport, to the opportunities you've given to those in terms of training. And that's the simplest thing we can do, and just hope someday he hears that. Maybe not.
But hey, I said thank you on my Instagram, and he liked it. He hit the like button. So I feel
he was looking for his tags. His story was fantastic. Yeah, I love scrolling through that.
Yeah.
So on to more fun,
happier topics.
Happier. Wodapalooza 2022 happening this week.
Back after taking a year off.
The elites start Thursday. Everyone else starts Friday. Festival of Fitness in Miami, Florida. Can't wait to get there because, gosh, what's the temperature in Minnesota right now? Let's put it this way. I don't even want to go outside. Come on, internet. This is,
for the record, it's 60 degrees here in California.
This is way too long for dramatic effect.
Yeah, you're boring.
A solid 7 degrees currently in Winona, Minnesota.
God.
At about 3 a.m. it's going to get to -2.
Yeah, no thanks.
And when I get in my car to drive to work tomorrow morning, it'll be -6 because God hates us. So yeah.
It's 60 degrees in California. I don't know what it is in Miami, but it's warm here.
Well, I can tell you, you can go screw yourself and your warm temperatures.
I will say
Oh
I
my
will say
goodness.
this. I'm really excited because I don't get to go to Wodapalooza, unfortunately, but I will get to watch it. And they're doing
It's free live stream this year.
free live streaming, and I'm
Yes.
so excited. I'm gonna have on that probably some football, maybe some hockey, and it's just gonna be doing nothing but watching this, and I'm so excited to watch it.
You want to be even more grateful for where you live? Want me to update you on how grateful you should be?
Yes.
All right. So where my parents live in like middle northern Minnesota at 7 a.m. tomorrow, -17.
Yeah. See,
That's with no wind.
I can't even fathom that kind of temperature.
I can tell
I
you
can't even fathom it.
at like negative. I mean, once you get below 0, it's just cold.
Yeah. Well, I'd say once you get below 40, it's just cold. But that's, California.
That's still
living.
like shorts and hoodie weather for me. But I mean, once we had -20 something a couple years ago.
I'm wearing a hoodie and it's 60 degrees.
You weakling. We had -20 something 2+ years ago, and I legitimately let my dog pee and crap in the basement because he couldn't go outside.
It's too cold for the little paws, man.
I even put mittens on his paws, which are really hard for him. And he would literally go out and he would give up and lay on his back, and I had to pick him up and carry him inside.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
But we let
Poor
him. It was like 3 days. They actually closed like the school I worked at and everything. And he peed and pooped in the concrete basement for 3 days, and we just cleaned it up after, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, if he's not going to go outside, what can you do?
No, like that's just cruel. It's like our bare hands on the ground in -20 something. No, thank you.
So you're going to Wodapalooza, right?
I am going to Wodapalooza.
Now,
I fly to Miami on Tuesday.
Can you talk about what you're doing? I don't know.
I can talk about what I'm doing. I can't talk about some things.
Okay. What are you doing there? I want to hear about this.
Well, initially I'll be there for work for a day and a half, doing some stuff with Formula One racing. And then I'll be transitioning to assistant head judge at the Tina Hills stage, which is one of the 4 stages: Flagler, Bayside, Tina Hills, and Flagler. Don't think I'm forgetting any. At Wodapalooza, I'll be assistant head judge on that stage. It's the smallest stage, but it is also in the shade. So
nice.
I'm bringing sunscreen, but I probably won't need it. So going to be in the shade, which is nice. But I'll be handling some first-time judges, helping them get acclimated, teaching them the ropes, which is oddly enough because my first time ever judging was 2 years ago on the same stage at Wodapalooza, and made a good enough impression that the head judges there decided to ask me to help out a little more.
Congratulations. So, that's good. No, that's always a good thing.
Very
getting
exciting.
Invited back in any capacity is always a good thing.
It's one of those things that's equally exciting and terrifying, because I'm obviously very excited, but it's like, all right, it's Wodapalooza. Don't fuck it up.
Now you're in charge.
As Twee would say.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
What divisions? Do you have all the divisions?
We have all the divisions come through. So
okay. I wasn't sure how that works. So.
Some stages have more of the elites coming through than others. I can't talk about who's going through where. I don't think the schedule's all out yet.
I understand that.
We will have the elites come through. I am very, very excited. We have the adaptive athletes coming through, which is going to be amazing. So we have the adaptive athletes coming through. We have all the divisions coming through. And there's some really exciting workouts. I don't think all of them have been released yet. Looking at some of the workouts, they've got a bar complex, chef's kiss. It is amazing. I did it yesterday. I forced my gym to do it for part 1 of our Saturday workout.
This was one of the ones that was released, right?
Yeah. So the Mia bar complex.
I've looked at none of the workouts. What is this?
The Mia bar complex 4-time, 3 hang cleans, 3 front squats, 3 shoulder overhead, increase weight, 2-2-2, increase weight, 1-1-1. The team version is 999-666-333. The elite weights are 315. Oh, sorry. 275, 295, then 315. Women's weights are 185, 195, 205. So I did this one yesterday. I did the team of 3 version as an individual because I was trying to find out how long it would take for class. Lo and behold, not even remotely equivalent. Took me 8.5 minutes to do the women's elite as an individual. And it took someone in our class, like a team of 3, like 3 minutes to do it. Granted, they weren't doing the elite, though any heavy, like close
What
to
was it? A clean and jerk?
pounds.
Is that what it was?
No, it's 3 hang cleans, 3 front squats, 3 shouldered overhead, and then
okay.
2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. So it took me 8.5 minutes, and then took them like 3 to 4. But that's with 3 people doing it, obviously. Mm-hmm. So this is gonna be a fun one to watch. I'm
excited.
I mean, just looking at who's there, you got Anthony Davis competing, and anyone who watched the Granite Games this year, you know that man can move some weight. And I mean, he's just going to touch and go this whole thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that.
Oh, it's going to be insane. I fangirled like real hard at Granite Games when he hit that snatch. When he missed, what was it? He on his second and third, the one that was like the crazy amount that set the record, I think, he missed a squat snatch on both of them, and then he power snatched it. And it was like 245 or something. It's just like, what?
That's insane amount of weight.
It was so crazy. Some media person there filmed me fangirling and squealing, and I didn't even care. So you got that one. What's crazy is the weights on this. So I went through the weights with my gym, and I mean, this is just Wodapalooza. It just shows how far the athletes have come. The intermediate weight. So you've got beginner, scaled, intermediate, RX, elite are all your divisions.
Oh, there's a lot of divisions. Wow.
There's a lot of divisions. And then you've got all the teams, the masters. Then you've got your elites. The adaptives are doing this one as well. But so your beginner weights for men, 135, 155, 175.
Wow.
That's beginner.
That's like, is that the I don't want to say the wrong word here. Is that the beginning? Is that the first division?
Yeah, that is the lowest division. And then for women, it's 95, 105, 115.
Wow, that's some big numbers.
Right. And I put this out there because for our judges to help build a little community, we're like, hey, let's do some Team Tina Hills workouts and post them like we do Team Judgment workouts.
Yep.
And I put this out, someone put this out there, and I was like, shit, if I do the intermediate, I'm PRing my clean, like on the last bar for intermediate. That's crazy. Intermediate is 225, 245, 265. There's 2 more divisions above that.
What was the first movement? A hang squats clean or something? What was it?
Hang clean.
Hang clean.
So
and the women's elite, the heaviest was 205.
Yeah, women's was 185, 195, 205, and I can say that was gross.
I'd be pushing that one. I'd probably get through it, but it'd take me a little bit. Maybe I might get through it. Maybe that hang is really gonna. The
hang was what got me. Yep. I missed a hook grip, like reestablishing a hook grip, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, that's always reestablishing hook grip is always fun.
And then the men's RX. So these are people who are basically games athletes. Like Guy Majeros, the last time Wodapalooza happened, he was an RX athlete. He was not in the elite division. Is
he going this year? He is, right?
I believe he is. It's his first. It's his first time after he's had some real time with Mayhem. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. But
he's on the list. Yeah, I just looked. He's on the list.
Yeah. And then so you've got that workout. You have a chipper, the Bayside chipper, 45 box jump overs, 24 kettlebell front rack box step overs.
Ugh.
Yeah. Rope climbs, burpee box jump overs, and then kettlebell deadlifts. It's a fast chipper, time cap of 10 minutes.
Ooh, that's quick.
Kettlebell weights are 62.44 for the elites. So that's 124 pounds of kettlebell in your front rack. Woof. Then you have to go right to rope climbs right after. No big deal. I'm really excited for this other one, flipped off, because I have not seen these flip sleds yet, other than like I've seen them on Instagram, but they're going to have these flip sleds, which are like the old pigs, like the really old pigs from the games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's rounds of 3, 3, 4. So 3-minute round, 3-minute round, 3-minute round, 4-minute round. You have to do a buy-in. So none of this counts. Your buy-in every round is 75 heavy dubs, 25 med ball GHDs. And then with your remaining time, after you have wrecked your core on med ball GHDs and your legs, now flip the sled as many times as you can with your remaining time.
Be interesting to see what the standards are for those med ball GHDs, because we ran into a little issue at the games. I don't know if you were part of that, because they were rolling it up their leg when they were.
Well, they used to allow that. Vellner did that at one of the competitions.
It got confusing whether that was allowed or not. So
let's see. Well, here's the standard. Each rep begins and ends with the athlete seated at the top of the GHD, holding the med ball with the ball touching the foot pads. The athlete must touch the ground or designated riser before returning to the seated position. The touch on the ground or riser must be overhead within the legs of the GHD, not to the side. It says nothing about rolling. The rep is credited when the med ball. So if they come to the top, the rep is credited when the med ball touches the foot pads. So if they come to the top and roll the med ball to the foot pads, my understanding is that would be okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Without looking more in depth, but that seems.
I just remember at the games there was confusion about that. But judging med ball, like, you'd think it'd be really difficult. Are they touching the ground? It's super simple. I remember during the teams we were judging 2 people at the same time, and it was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So
this one's going to be really fun. I wonder how they're going to set it up in terms of telling the story. Like, it'd be interesting if you're doing your med ball GHCs and your dubs in the same place, but then you're advancing the flip sled down a floor and then it stays there. So as people are doing dubs in the med ball, you can see where everyone is in terms of their flip sled before they get back.
That idea also brought to you by Dave Castro.
Yeah, just right. Saying. So I would hope that's how it is. I do not know, because I haven't looked at this one that much, but that would be really cool. They have row, swim, run, 2,500 or 2,000 meter row, 250 meter swim, and then a 2,000 meter run. Barn burner right there.
Yeah.
Necessary, but a barn burner. The run is on an air assault runner.
Okay.
So it's the only run that's not on a runner is from the row to the swim. So they'll row, they'll run to the water, they'll swim, and then they'll run. Does
the beginner and the intermediate divisions also do that on the assault runner? Do you know?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because I mean, I bet you
the assault runner is less for them.
Sure, but I mean, do you have an assault runner in your gym?
No, I have one in a box in my garage.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that last week.
I haven't. I used one at the games in the athlete or the volunteer workout area or the workout area. They had a bunch of them. I've used one there. They are different to run on.
Yeah, I hope that so, because I bet you a lot of those beginner athletes, those intermediates, and maybe even some of the RX ones won't have access to that. So hope they can practice before they are let loose.
I hope they all work for the judges' sakes. I've never heard of anyone actually having to do it, but have you ever judged an assault runner?
Oh yeah,
or a true form runner where they put the tape on it.
The 3 miles, 300 doubles and
triple three,
whatever, triple three. Yeah.
Yeah. But they had I assume they had the tape on it.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, hey, if your runner fails, start counting the tape. And when they get to this number, I remember at the MAC, we had that. And I was just like, please God, don't go out.
It happened during the triple three, not to me. It was happened to another judge I did it twice. So I think I was at South Regional when it happened. And it was basically just keep running.
At the MAC this year for the teams, they had two true form runners, and they both had to run a mile, I think. And I don't think I brought it up in the judges briefing, but I asked someone off to the side, like one of the leads or the head judges, and I was like, what do we do if they both go out? Because you'd have to, like, if both runners just go out, you have to start counting the tape. And it was like, don't even say that.
But there wasn't any tape.
On the true forms at the MAC, there was.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we had instructions for the indies of what to do. And then for the teams, it was like, what do we do if they both go out? It was like, don't even bring that in. Don't even manifest that into the world. Don't even.
Shut your mouth.
Pretty much. It might have been Kevin who was just like,
stop.
Like, just stop it. Stop it. Don't even do it. So hopefully none of that happens. And then I'm so glad they released this one, Dale, an elimination sprint. I love that we're getting more of these elimination style workouts because they are really exciting. Like
They are.
At Rogue, I loved that workout. It was so much fun. This one, so 60 foot handstand walk, 90 foot sandbag, bear hug carry. I wonder if they're using like the cyclone bags of Rogues like they brought out that get smaller as they get down, like they use.
Oh yeah, yep.
Invitational. So
as long as it's not that stupid cheese curd, I'm good with it.
It might be a cheese curd that just isn't cheese curd colored. So 60 foot handstand walk, 90 foot sandbag, bear hug carry, 300 foot shuttle run.
I wonder how that's going to work. Yeah.
I could tell you, but I can't. 90 foot sandbag, bear hug carry, and then a 60 foot handstand walk.
So an up and down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the sandbag is 200 pounds for the men, 150 for the women. Wow. Handstand walk must be in 30 foot unbroken segments. Time cap of 3 minutes.
Oh.
Round 1 has everyone. Round 2 is top 20. The final has top 10.
Can you imagine doing that the first time and being like, I don't want to do this again?
I can't imagine doing it at all because I can't get on my hands.
So, I definitely couldn't do it for 30 feet.
I would be I'd be in the scale division where they have bear crawls. I'm all for that.
I can bear crawl like a mo.
Yeah, scaled and beginner has bear crawls.
Okay.
Do the adaptive get to do this? I hope so. Yeah, they do. Awesome. Wait, yes, they do. All right.
Look at you looking at your secret undercover.
You mean
insider
screen / light? No, this is all on their website.
Oh, is that where you're getting it from?
Yeah, I'm on Wodapalooza's website. Okay. I would not be going off a document from the judges that I'm not supposed to show.
I don't know if it's been released. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm glad they released this one.
Yeah.
Because
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about this and I was like, that sounds like fun, but I knew we were going to be recording this. So and then you've got, so that's all the workouts that have been released so far, which is only 5. I don't actually know how many there are, but I can guarantee you it's more than 5.
Oh yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what else is out there. What else we got going at Wodapalooza? It is the 10th year of Wodapalooza, so it's actually really awesome that if you go on their website, they kind of walk through where they started, so they started in 2012. It was 1 day.
Yep.
145 total athletes, 500 spectators. It was just like a local gym comp.
It's a local comp.
And within, their growth was huge. They implemented an online qualifier 2 years later, and we're up to 1,200 athletes. And this year, or 2020, they own 2,700 plus athletes, 37 divisions, 35,000 people attended. I mean, this is, in all honesty, I think this is second to the games in terms of CrossFit events that I can
probably
think of.
With that many divisions. Yeah.
I think it's really second only to the games. In terms of money, you've got Rogue, obviously. But in terms of like community and attendance and athletes, I really think WZA has more athletes than the games for sure. It's a true community event. It's like the Granite Games in Minnesota. It's what the West Coast Classic was supposed to be before COVID shut down.
Before COVID, yeah.
It is a true community event, which I think is,
and I'm glad it's back. I know it was canceled last year.
So glad it's back. It is just a CrossFit party. I mean, if you're not a party person, you're still going to have a great time. Like, I'm not a party person. I didn't grow up by beaches or anything like that. I like warm weather, but Miami and its scene is not my type of thing. I had so much fun. Everyone goes to Wodapalooza.
Right.
Like, there's the vendor area puts the games vendor area to shame. Like, if you want to have fun, like, they had contests to win random free stuff, like just fitness contests, and they treat the I think they treat the volunteers well, other than the fact I don't think I'll ever eat Chipotle again, because that's all they gave us in 2020 for 4
Over
days.
and over and
literally
over.
lunch and dinner for 4 days was Chipotle.
That's fine.
I think Matt O'Keefe even said it on one of our calls. He's like, I haven't eaten Chipotle since 2020. And I thought about it. I was like, I eat Qdoba constantly because in my brain it's different and better. I'll die on that hill, but I haven't had Chipotle since 2020 at Wodapalooza, and I don't know when I will again.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna win? Well, you've done more research on this because I still thought Tia was competing because I have been packing up my house and preparing to move and not preparing for podcasts like I should.
It's funny you bring up Tia because 2020 Tia won.
Yep.
Sarah Sigmund's daughter took second. Carrie Pierce took 3. So 2 out of those. So Tia is in Germany right now with a bobsled regional competition, the Europa Cup, and Carrie's retired.
Yep.
Now
Sarah's there.
Coming off of she's coming off her injury. She's coming off an injury, but she did get 7th in Dubai. So
I will say the person I don't know if I have a pick yet. I'll have one by the time we're done talking. But the person I am most excited to see on the women's side is Fee Sagafi.
Okay.
Because she's essentially making, for lack of a better word, a comeback because she went to the MAC. I was one of the people I thought she was going to make that leap, go to the games, and she had a health issue during the MAC. And I think she was the second or first person out. I'm very interested to see where she's at because I know she also posted something like 2 weeks ago that she's added maybe 10 plus pounds of muscle since the MAC last year. And that's what did her in, was her snatch was so much lower comparatively to everyone else because she doesn't have a strength. So I'm very interested to see Fee Sagafi. I'm very interested to see Bethany Shadburn making her return to competition.
I'm so excited for that.
I'll say she's my pick to win it. When I look, just scrolling through this, I mean, if she's anywhere close to where she was at the West Coast Classic last year, where she just dominated, like it might have been closer than we thought, but just the eye test for both of us who were there, there was no doubt who was the best person there.
Right. And that's who I have my pick for. Well, Sarah's up there too. I don't know how the injury is. I don't know what it is. So
I want to root for Sarah. I just don't know if she's podium ready yet. I would love to see Danny Spiegel coming off that injury at the games. I mean, Danielle Brandon always competes with a chip on her shoulder. You've got.
I'm really excited to see Danielle Brandon because of what happened at the games. I'm excited to see how she does because she definitely had a handicap. Not her fault. Yeah. But having this, and she did it well. She took that attitude and really pushed it. But I'm curious to see how she does. I think it's going to be a good test.
And I feel like Rogue didn't go as planned for her. So it's interesting to see how she rebounds from that. I know she backed out of Dubai, just made the decision not to go. So Ariel Lowen, mom strength, is going to be there. Yep. I would say Shadburn's definitely my pick to win. I could see Danny Spiegel on the podium. I could see Fee Sagafi on the podium. Just scrolling through this list. I mean, Sarah, maybe.
I don't know.
Depending where she's gotten to. Mm-hmm. I think Emma McQuaid's kind of a dark horse. She's always kind of around there.
Speaking of Emma's, I'm excited to see Emma Tall compete.
Emma Tall would be good to see.
Devastating after her issues at the games or not going to the games.
I thought Emma Carey was competing for some reason, but must not be. I know she got hurt at Dubai. I thought I saw some post that she was going to be competing. This is as of January 3rd. So this is the athlete roster on Wodapalooza. So I think if Emma Carey competes, I think she has a chance to podium with this field.
I don't think she's competing.
I don't think she is either. I know she's training. Fee, I saw posted that she's training with Emma right now, like in preparation for Wodapalooza. So maybe. On the men's side, I think you've got Pat Vellner's going to win it. I think
Pat's my second. He took second at the games.
Yeah.
He finished behind Medeiros, really close. He was always battling with him.
If he didn't punt the first event,
he
wins.
And he said that. He said that.
He knows it.
My money's on. He's finished second again behind Medeiros at the what's the one we just had? Rogue.
Yep.
So
I was hoping Fikowski was going to compete. Is it true that he grew a beautiful mustache? Have you seen this?
Was that real?
I hope it was real.
Oh, I saw something on that on social media, like his account.
I was really hoping it was real. I wanted it to be real. I need to look at his Instagram quick because, gosh, I just want to see that in person.
I definitely have Patrick taking it. In 2020, it was Patrick, Cole Sager, and Noah Olson. Noah Olson's going to teams.
And
we'll talk about that in a second.
It was Vellner literally on the last event. I think they tied in points, if I remember correctly. Him and Sager tied in points, but Vellner had more event wins.
Okay,
so Vellner won.
I'm excited to see Cole. He took the West Coast Classic.
Mm-hmm.
He was 14th at the games. Unfortunately, he was a tailback at University of Washington. I went to school at Washington State University. Go Cougs. So part of me is also rooting not for him because he is a Husky, but that's okay. We'll forgive you for this one time, Cole.
Yeah, neither one's relevant in terms of college football, so
he's a fact. Fact. He is a hometown. He's from Washington. He's a hometown favorite. I think he can give Vellner a run for his money. We'll see what happens. I do want to talk about Ricky.
I mean, he got second at Dubai.
Second or third? Well, third. Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, he did his time. Moved fuck off.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, he did his time.
I know that
what he does now, as long as he's legitimate, move on. He did his time.
I think he's been tested off season. I know that.
Yep.
I think Morning Chocolate put something about that. So
if he gets popped again, gone forever. But you know what? He made a mistake. He eventually owned up to it. He did his 4 years. I think we can all move on.
And I think he's also training at Underdogs Athletics.
Yes, Underdog is exciting.
Something's going on there. Like I pardon the pun, but they're putting something in the water down there.
Yeah, they got Scuds.
Don't take that as me accusing anybody though. Yeah, I'll talk about Scuds here in a minute.
Yeah, because we got the team.
I'm so excited for the teams
with her and Kira Milligan.
Kira. You remember her from the Iron Games, right?
I do remember.
Okay, we'll go there.
Like Kira. But so the men, I think Vellner would be. I'm very interested in Guy now that he's had more time under the tutelage of Rich.
Yep.
Let's see. I just want to see Anthony Davis lift big weights.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
I should join his gym when I move to the cities.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Colton Mertens.
Oh my gosh, little Mertens. Oh.
He'll be bringing hopefully he'll be bringing a mullet. Because every competition needs a mullet.
Well, he's apparently like the little mullet now. So
yep. And then Dolan Peppers, you remember him?
I was gonna say Dolan Pepper. Yep. I am excited for.
So I actually judged Dolan at
West Coast.
At the games as a team.
Oh,
I judged him in 17, 18, 19, something like that. 17, 18, 19. So where he won all of them that he competed in, and he missed the bubble at West Coast. He was 6th. So.
Yeah, he's
right there. And now he's had a year, 9 months to prep without having to go to the games. So I think that I'm really excited to see him.
You know who's also competing? I'm fairly certain.
All the Panchek brothers?
Well, there's that. Yes. The Pancheks are all going for bragging rights, which I think is hilarious.
I think it's awesome.
Instead of being a team of 3, which would have worked perfectly.
Yeah, they could have gone against the Smiths.
And I think I don't think this isn't someone anyone would know, but one of our judge friends is in the intermediate division, Mr. Niall. If you remember Niall from West Coast.
No. Well, yeah, I remember him, but I didn't know he was competing.
I'm 90% sure.
They don't have a list of all the other people.
No,
yet,
I'm pretty sure he qualified for the intermediate division. So shout out to our good friend Niall, who is a games and a semifinal judge who ideally will be making it to the intermediate division, crushing it because he's crazy freaking fit.
Yeah, he is. Go get it.
But yeah, so okay, picks Vellner, my podium in no particular order. I'm going to say Vellner, Maheros, and now, see, I've screwed myself because now I want to pick 2 for third, or for I think depending on what kind of progress Hopper's made, and
Yeah.
Ricky. I think there's a good battle there for a top 4. Or I'd love to see Scott Panchik just come on nowhere and
That would be amazing.
like get on top of the podium. And
I think it's going to be Cole, Vellner, and Ricky.
all right, Cole winning it.
I think Patrick's going to win it.
Okay, yeah, I think
He's my. If you ask me to put money down, I'd put on Vellner.
Yeah,
but I think Cole's going to give him a run for his money.
Oh yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how far Hopper has come since the games, because he did good at Rogue. He did decent at Rogue, so it'll be interesting to see how far he's come. Because this is much more, I think, more of a style of the games where I think it's more events over 4 days, where Rogue was 3 days, 6 events, maybe 7. I can't remember. But all right, team of 3. This is totally, I think this is brand new this year. Elite teams of 3, and it's fun,
of same sex,
of same gender, because you've got people just making little super teams just for shits and giggles, and it's awesome. You've got the Born Primitive Underdogs on the women's side with, I apologize to anyone's name I butcher, Alex Gazan, Kira Milligan, and Allison Scuds. Yeah,
Kyra's gonna do it. She's gonna crush it.
Is it Kyra?
Yeah, I believe so. And if she's listening, and I'm gonna send this to her, but hopefully she listens. But if I say your name wrong,
send it to her and be like, this other asshole got your name wrong over and over.
I do got to tell you that, but just to the vast majority of listeners we got, she is so much fun to watch compete because her attitude is phenomenal. She could be in the worst workout in the world, and she's going to do it with a smile on her face, and she's going to do it. And she won. Do you remember Speed Demon?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She won that. It was Speed Demon. It was 20 burpee box get overs, not jump, just get over. But it was at 48 for the men, 42 for the women, and a sandbag clean, 150 and 100 for time. Just that's it. Get over the box 20 times, 20 sandbag cleans at 150 and 100. And she won it. And it was amazing to watch. And one of the great things about being a head judge is that you get to watch the whole floor, and you get to spy a little bit, and you get to spectate just a little bit here and there. And it was fun to watch. So
yeah, that was at the Iron Games this year. That was really fun to see.
So excited.
I mean, they're my team I want to root for, because just Kyra's awesome. Scuds is probably one of the most fun athletes I've ever had the privilege of judging at West Coast this year. After I got done judging her, it was the thruster rope climb workout. We're just saying at the finish line, and I'm not even paying attention. Like, I've got my scorecard signed, and she slaps me hard in the back. Aren't you having a great time? Just like, yes. Thank you.
She's another favorite of mine.
So nice.
She used to live she used to live up the road from me. She was at Redwood City. I think she was at NC Fit in Redwood City. I think. So she was a NorCal athlete. So I'm always going to root for them. Mm-hmm. She moved to Las Vegas. I ran into her on the floor at the CrossFit Games, and after the whole thing, she was on the floor because she was the captain of the demo team. And so after the game, after everything's wrapped up and they've done the podium, she was on the floor with me, and I was talking to her, and I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I really root for you because you're in the hometown. I've judged you at Vegas, and we talked, and then she's like, oh, but I'm moving to Vegas. And I'm like, you're dead to me. Like, why would you do that? And she just kind of cracked up and laughed, but it was she's and she's fun. And Alex Willis, we judged, I don't know if you judged, I judged her at West Coast. But she was there as well. She finished 16th. So I think it's a great team. I think they're going to have some work though. They're going to have to come up with I think the name is Mayfem.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
It's the Mayhem women, Taylor Williamson. Oh my gosh.
So
Haley Adams and Andrea Nissler.
I think
just a stacked team.
So Nissler, Williamson were both on the Mayhem Freedom team this year that won.
Yep.
And Haley Adams, of course, we all know her. She got 5th. Yeah,
she's mildly a phenom.
Fourth last year,
2021.
I judged her too when she was a teen. So just one of my very first years at the games was 2017, and she got 2nd. So
nice. Yeah, I mean, I think they're the pick to take it on that elite team.
I think so too.
I'm very excited to see the return of Kelsey Keel to competition. After I think 2 years off, she tried to make the USA bobsled team, and she's back on the Fleo team. So I think that's going to be really fun to watch. She's also someone like Anthony Davis, like, just let him lift heavy.
Right.
Let the heavy weight go.
What team is she on?
She's on the Fleo team.
Where's that at? I'm looking at the list right now.
It's like,
Oh, way down there at the bottom. No,
no,
that's
it's
the
like
wrong one.
4 under born primitive underdogs. It's Kelsey Keel, Kelly Baker, and Alexis
Oh,
Bergen.
there it is. I walked right over it. Yeah.
I'm trying to look and see if I recognize any other. Carolyn Prevost on the junk team.
Mm-hmm.
The deadlift champion from the Rogue Invitational from the Rogue Record Breakers.
Mayfam, yep.
Kristen Holte is on a team.
She's on a team.
Awesome. Team
I was going to bring that
Krieger.
up. Yeah,
that's going to be fun to watch.
Yep.
She's retired, but yeah, eventually.
And then we judged another team, the Blue Cities CrossFit, with Taylor Streets. Taylor's going to be there too.
Nice.
I don't know what the team name is now. I can't see it.
We'll be there.
Lost my notes.
And then on the men's side, you've got Thunder from Down Under, Con Porter, Jay Crouch, and James Newberry.
Huge power team.
That's gonna be. Gonna
be fun to watch.
Just have Con Porter do weird, funny shit on Instagram. It's just amazing.
I have no idea who these athletes are, but I love the name. That's the Cobra Kai.
We've got 2.5 men. I hope one of them's tiny, like Merton sized. That'd be fantastic. The boys, Chandler Smith, Noah Olson, and Travis Mayer.
Stacked team.
The men's side is stacked. Team Hercules, Travis Williams, Roy Gamboa, and Logan Collins.
Another good one. Roy Gamboa, yep, coming in.
All the Smith brothers on one team.
And they're a very original name too. I like that.
I'm just looking at these for the first time. Then you've got Strong for Life with Bronislav Olikwitz. Yep. Yes. I do not know who the other 2 people are, but I hope they're all just like him.
And then I like Mayhem's name, Mayhem in Paradise.
Yep. Just the
stacked team as well.
I'm just gonna put this team moist AF.
Yeah, there's some.
That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary.
This makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, the fact that there's going to be an MC yelling
having to say that.
Here comes moist AF. Like, nope. Not okay.
Oh, and the Army Warrior Fitness team has a team too.
They're there. They don't have a women's team, which was surprising. Going through.
Did you see that there's actually 2 teams called 2.5 Men?
Well, that's not okay.
There's 2 with a number 2, and there's 2 spelled out.
Huh. Well, fine. Be that way, everyone. So creative, all these peoples. So I would say on the men's side, my pick. Women's side, Mayfem.
Mayfem, I think.
Team of 3. I'm thinking the boys or Thunder from Down Under.
Oh no, I think it's gonna be Mayhem. Well, Mayhem in Paradise is gonna.
I think Mayhem in Paradise will be up there. I'm not sold on. I think it's a great team, but I just think the combination of Olsen, Smith, and Mayer is pretty stacked.
Well, if you look at it, like all 3 of them went to the games last year.
Yeah.
On Mayhem in Paradise, only 1 person went to the games. So, and that was Rich. And
he was on a team. So I never count out Rich with anything team related because Mayhem does teamwork better than anyone else. I think Thunder from Down Under is going to be fantastic to watch. I think
they're going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm so excited. I think more so for the elite team of 3 than I am for the regular. But I think what I'm most excited about still hands down, the adaptive, the masters. I don't know the lists.
I tried to find them. They're not out there. I really did try to find them.
They might be on Competition Corner if you find
they're not. They're
not. Oh, they were before.
As of yesterday, they're not. Well, the online qualifier was up there.
Yeah, so you look at the top athletes from that potentially. Yeah. If you want to do a deep dive into that, I'm not.
I wasn't sure who accepted and who didn't because a lot of people got freaked out because of travel and COVID and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't sure.
Niall Hannigan is in the intermediate division. He finished 13th in the online qualifier.
That's amazing.
Intermediate. So we'll see our friend Niall there, which is awesome. So I don't know where else to go with this. I have
another shout out to a couple people here locally going. I think they're going to the RX teams. I think it's RX. But Pool Boy and Albert Castro. The good luck to you guys. I don't know who your third teammate is. My apologies, but they're local here in San Jose, and I've been around Mike for various competitions, judged them a few times. So good luck to you guys.
That'll be fantastic. I'm excited to see who from the RX division makes that leap like Guy did. I should do a little research and see if any local Minnesota teams are making it, because there's some from the games last year. But I'm very interested to see what they do for the 10-year anniversary of Wodapalooza, because I think that's a pretty big deal. So I can't imagine Loud and Live doesn't have something special planned. So it'll be very, very exciting to see what comes from that. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much in Miami, but I'm excited to be there. I wish you would be there.
I wish I was too.
Listens to this and can find the way to Miami, they are still looking for volunteers. So get out there if this is the type of event to volunteer for, because it is a one-of-a-kind experience and just a huge CrossFit get together. So I think we've talked for a while. I have no idea how long we've been going, but we'll connect probably sometime after I get back from Miami, and we'll figure out what our next episode is going to be. If I know we've talked about things like, I would love to put together a judges panel and like a judges roundtable. I think that's going to be really cool to do. So we'll definitely talk with Mr. Brian Folger.
Yeah, I think you should try to get that organized when you're down there.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get that organized, and I'd love to do one with him, Twee, and Amy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
as well. Even if we do Brian separately from those two as an individual, but then we do those. Maybe it turns into those three, because those three are just a fantastic team who lead judges at some of the biggest events you've heard of. So, but I have to pack, because I have to basically leave tomorrow. So we're going to wrap this up. This is. Yeah, I'm gonna go make dinner. It's almost 8 p.m. here. You lucky bastard, being in California. I'm way past my dinner time. So I have to drop a cat off at someone's house who's eagerly awaiting his arrival. And I'm eagerly awaiting a break from him, because he's insane, as all cats are. So this is Community RX.
I have 4 of them.
You have 4. Yeah, you're basically a cat. You're a spinster, I think is the proper term. Go to Spinster Island. Those of you who watch Gallivant know that one. So this is Community RX. Thank you for listening. Once again, I'm your host, Mike, and this is Coach Tom, and we will be back after Wodapalooza. Have a safe week. Those of you going to Wodapalooza, hope you enjoy it. If you are going to Wodapalooza, stop by Team Tina Hill's stage and say a little hello. I'll be there probably in a bright judge's shirt. Happy to say hi. So see you then, and I got nothing else.
Thanks, all.
All right, bye.